For step 6, the last step, I'm going to pin the entire front to the entire back. So I'm going to, on one side, tuck in the ear, the arm, and the leg, and put the back good to good. I'm going to pin at the middle of the top and at the middle of the bottom, making sure the edges are together. Then I'm going to pin and match the seam at the neck, because I want that looking even. And then put a lot of pins in, at least a dozen, if not more, all the way around, from the top at the middle and the bottom at the middle. You almost can't put too many pins in, because the more you put, the better your fabric behaves. And then bring it to your machine to sew. So with the machine set on a straight stitch still, I put the foot down, needle down, remove that first pin so it's not in my way, and I'm just going to start reverse, and I'm going to sew right on the edge. And whenever I get to a limb, of course it's going to be thicker, but you just push it through, keeping the foot on the edge, the needle a centimeter from the edge of the fabric. Stop and remove pins whenever they're in the way. When you get to the neck, it's a little tricky, but just try to keep it on the one. Needle in, pivot right at the corner of the neck. You can even grab the head and pull through to get you through that thick part where the arm is. Take the pin out. It's easier if you don't sew over the pin when it's thick. And again, if you haven't overstuffed your limbs, you'll find this much easier. You don't want stuffing right at the top of your limbs. Grab the other end if you're finding it hard to get it through. And sew all the way to the middle of that first leg. Do a little reverse. Take it out and cut your threads. And you can have a look if you like. But yeah, should look really cute. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to push the ear in, the other arm in, the other leg. And it definitely will be thicker this time because now you've got both of them. But just put them all inside. Put in a lot of pins. I'm going to sew the second side now. I've tucked in the other leg, arm, and ear and put pins in. And I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm just going to go to the bottom of the side where I have double pins. I'm going to reverse, and then I'm going to start again, start and reverse at the bottom of the arm and up through the neck around to the head. I want to leave an opening between the two sets of double pins so that I can flip and stuff it. So I'll start at the middle of the bottom, foot down, needle down. And you're going to have to be more forceful now. You're going to have to really flatten this creature with your hands so that you can sew it even though it's thick. It's going to be harder to sew the second side than the first side because of the fact that you have all the limbs inside now. But you're just going to go a little ways to start off with. And getting to the first set of double pins, I'm going to stop and reverse. I'll pull this out. Those threads and take out all those pins. So I just had to do this little part at the bottom and then just at the very start of the side. Now I'll go up, higher up on the side, basically just below the arm. Line this up. Again, this just is a little more disobedient. Foot down, needle down. I'll take those double pins out because now I know my spot. Go a few stitches, reverse a few. It's a bit thicker now because you're sewing where the arm is. Just force it through. You get to the next seam, needle in, pivot, and now come up around the head. Stop and take pins out, or you can sew over them as long as you sew very slowly. Around that head now it's getting a bit thick. I'm at the ear, but I just force it through. And eventually I get back to where I first started, at the top of the head, and I reverse. Take it out, cut your threads. all my pins are removed, and now at the opening, at the side on the bottom, I can start to flip it. I can pull through one limb and then the other. Once you start getting the limbs through, it's easier to get the rest of the body. Just pull them all the way till he's right side out, and then you're going to stuff them through that opening, and then these ends will be turned underneath, so you have a folded edge, and then you'll take a hand sewing needle and a matching thread, and you'll do a ladder stitch, hand stitch that little opening done, and then your little creature will be finished.